This documentary will be to find out how Emma got into what she does, why she enjoys it, and what happens to the items after production. Emma Hanson attended the Wimbledon School of Art during the years of 1994 to 1997. She studied technical arts design there, but didn't like having to constantly plan stuff out and always ended up making something. During her second year at the school, she got an interview for a job where she would make plastic toy figurines for Disney and Warner Brothers. This company gave her the job and put her on a year-long training course where she would learn to sculpt. Just a year after leaving Wimbledon, she accepted a job where she would work on The Mummy, and during the same year she would also work on the film Alice in Wonderland. Both of these films were produced at Shepperton Studios and would be released a year later. So what sort of items have been your favourite ones to make?
I think the most recent was the big Buddha for 47 Ronin. We were sent out to Budapest to build this 70-foot long, 30-foot high Buddha, which was just the head and the torso. So it was enormous. It was about 20 feet deep. It's one of those things where when it was laying down and the actors would walk underneath the neck, coming out of a cave sort of thing. And we had 9 Hungarian sculptors. We had 5 weeks to make it. It was incredibly hard, but it was so satisfying and looked amazing. I haven't seen it on film, but I'm sure it will look really nice.
Talking about big items you've made, what about the dragon skull from Game of Thrones?
Yeah, that was fun. That was lovely because we were sent to Malta to make that. It started off at, I think we were at Shepperton Studios making the models and the maquettes, which is how you start any big sculpt. We made the little one for the designer. She was happy with that. We sent it out to Malta and built it in a month and just had a lovely time by the sea in the warm weather, feeling a little bit embarrassed that we've been paid to do something so lovely.
So what's with the Game of Thrones book?
In this book, it covers the first 3, I think, or the first 2 series. There's loads of stuff that we made, stuff that you wouldn't even think that sculptors would be involved in. So in the background on this pillar, it's covered in leaves. So we had to sculpt all these leaves. And King's Landing. That's for the nerds. Just everywhere. It's like each page there's stuff. So one of my favourite ones was this is Stannis' ship, and on the front we built the whole ship and then we stuck a great big stag's head on the front. And we had to put it up in the blinding rain, the cherry picker, the sofa. So you have to get the piece up, and it's heavy, and you've got another sculptor with you. You've got to stick it on, foam it with expanding foam, dog it, which is like big metal staples, and all the time I kept dropping the dogs onto the floor of the cherry picker, and I couldn't bend down because of my bump, so I'd sort of try and hook it up with my foot and get the dogs and stick them on. So it was a bit of a palaver, and eventually someone said she shouldn't be allowed up there, and they made her come down and someone else stuck it up. But it looked good.
So what happens to all the props and set after the production?
You never see it again, really. You forget what you've made because you're just straight on to the next sculpt. But then when you see it in a book or when you see it in a film, you sort of are like, oh, I made that. And you have all these nice memories of your time working on that production. Value, or possibly theme parks, which is what happened to a lot of the Harry Potter sculptures and parts of the set. They got kept and turned into a big theme park. And you can now pay to walk around that set. It was lovely, because when we were making it, no one knew what Harry Potter was, no one had read the books. You know, we were just like making another castle, we didn't know at all. And when the film came out, we were just astonished at, okay, well, we made Hogwarts.
Thank you.
You're welcome.